Hey guys, Cole here for some more Ralliart content. And today, guys, I'm actually going to show you how to remove the Ralliart's bumper. This is very useful for many reasons. One being if you were going to, make the upgrade to the Evo 10 intercooler or hard pipes, or if you wanted to remove the grill, or in my case, today, I'm going to actually be removing the bumper so I can re-plasti dip the chrome ring on the front. It's starting to look a little bit worn out, so it's about time to redo that. So I'll go step by step and show you guys how to do the removal, and I'll also continue on and show you guys just the plasti dipping process, and that's about it. So let's get started. Alright guys, so first things first, I'll show you guys how to remove this plastic plate here. It's pretty much the first step that you'll have to take. So what you'll have to do in order to remove this plate, you'll actually have to remove these two pop clips that are in the intake. Then there's a pop clip here, there's one underneath here, underneath the intake, then there's one here and here. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so after removing the intake, you just simply pull up and it comes right off. Super simple. I was actually wrong. There's only 3 pop clips, so there's one here, one over here, and one here. So I'll go ahead and remove those, and then we'll go on to the next step. Alright, so after removing those pop clips, this plate will just pick right out. Go ahead and set it down over there. Then the next step that you'll have to do, as long as none of your hardware is broken like mine, you'll have to remove this bolt here, this bolt here. You'll need an extension to get down to that bolt there. It sits down a little bit. This bolt here and here. And one thing to remember before pulling the bumper off, there's actually a clip down here for the fog lights. So you'll have to go in and push out that clip in there. So I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, now that you've removed all of the hardware on the top, on the engine side, now you'll have to go down into the wheel wells and remove, on both sides you'll have to remove 2 pop clips, and then it's really hard to see, but up in here, let me see if I can get an angle on it. There is actually a bolt right there where the fender meets the bumper, so you'll have to remove both of those. So then after you remove those 3 on both sides, you'll actually have to get underneath the car, and there are, on both sides there's a pop clip on the corner, and then there are pop clips and bolts that go all the way across. I believe there's around 5 of them, so you'll have to remove all of those. Then after that, we'll move on to the next step. Okay guys, so this is the last step in removing the bumper. What you'll have to do, after you've removed all of the bolts and clips, you'll have to grab here on the corner of the bumper and pick up and pull straight out. It's not going to come off extremely easy. You are going to have to give it some force. So it's going to make a loud snap noise when you pull it off. Don't be alarmed by that. That's normal. You didn't break anything. But just be gentle and pick up and pull out, and it'll come right out. So I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so actually there was one more bolt that had to come out of the bumper, and it was on these tabs here, so here and there. After removing those, you'll be able to pull straight out and remove the bumper. So that's all for the initial bumper removal. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the chrome ring and take and peel all of the Plasti dip off and then redo it. And how you actually do that, if you come back in here, you can see there are a whole bunch of screws. So you'll have to go all the way around the ring and remove all of the screws all the way around it, and then it'll just pop right off. Super easy. The amount of, for some reason they used an excessive amount of screws, but it shouldn't be too bad to take it off. So I'll go ahead and do that and I'll come back to you. Okay, now that I've removed the ring off of the bumper and also removed all of the old Plasti dip off of the ring, now it's time to start the Plasti dipping process. So your first coat, you always want to make sure that it's a very light coat. That way it bonds better. So we'll go ahead and you just want to make sure it's very even. You don't want to go where it's too thick. You just want a very, very light coat. So you can still see the chrome through the Plasti dip on the first coat. Coats after that are fine to start putting it on a little bit heavier. Alright, and then you'll want to let it sit for probably 15 to 20 minutes just to let it bond, and then you'll move on to the next coat. So we'll go ahead and do that in about 20 minutes. Alright guys, now that the first coat's dry, I'm going to go ahead and put on coat number 2. The second coat you can put on a little bit thicker, so don't worry about it being too heavy. But you want to try to make it a little bit thicker so that it starts to even up. And you want to make sure that you don't hold the can too close. Sorry if my angle here is a little bit off. It's a little hard to shoot and spray at the same time. Alright, so I'm actually going to put a total of 5 coats on and wait about 20 minutes in between coats. I'll come back to you after I have the 5th coat on and show you what the end results are. Alright, so I have all the coats on there. It looks pretty good. Doesn't look like it flaked up or anything, so pretty happy with it. I'll go ahead and reinstall it on the car and I'll show you guys what it looks like after I'm done. Okay guys, so I have the chrome ring and bumper back on. Looks pretty good. Fairly smooth. I ended up putting my lower grill back in just because I was tired of all the rocks and the bugs hitting the intercooler and making it look bad. so it's just an extra bit of protection. It still looks good. You can still see the red from the intercooler, so I'm happy with it. All in all, this project looks much better than it did previously. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video today, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Car Talks with Cole. And if you have any questions or comments about the build, go ahead and throw those in the comments below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and have a great day.